In this video, we're going to look at how to make nPass graphs automatically stop iterating once a certain condition becomes true. This makes it possible to set a maximum number of passes and prevent the graph from processing more than it needs to. Let's dive in. All right, so here we are in InstaMAT Studio. Let's go ahead and create a new project, and I'll just create a new nPass element graph without a template. All right, so what I want to do is show you how we can have our nPass graphs automatically stop once a certain condition becomes true. And the way to get an nPass graph to stop processing automatically is by setting the pass index to be equal or greater than the pass count. So let's take a look at how this works. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and drag my pass index in here. And this is how we can keep track of what pass we're currently on. And I'm going to create an output here. Let's go ahead and create another uint32. We'll call this pass index on exit. And this is great because what I can do now is I can connect these and we can always tell what our pass index is as we increase our pass count. So I'm going to go ahead and just change this so that we have a max of 20 so that we can make the slider a bit easier to use. But you'll notice that, if we ever set this to pass count 5, that our pass index is 4 because it starts at 0. So one behavior that I want to mention is that in order to set our pass index at the end of every pass, we're going to use this onIterationFinished function. And we do that just by connecting a value to the pass index variable. Now you'll notice, right, as we increase the pass count, that our pass index automatically increments after every pass. And this is the default behavior for nPass graphs. But as soon as we connect something to this onIterationFinished to the pass index, it's going to override this behavior. So what I want to do is I first want to set up our graph so that it does this behavior exactly the same way. It's going to add one, but then when we add some condition later on, it will affect the behavior of our graph. So that'll make more sense in a second. So let me go ahead and branch off a connection, and I'm going to say plus, and we're just going to add 1 to our pass index for every pass. So this is going to do exactly the same thing. So if I connect this now that we've connected something to this pass index, again, it overrides that default behavior, but we're going to get the same exact behavior as before. But now what I want to do is I want this graph to stop performing passes once a certain condition becomes true. And to do that, we're going to do a very simple example here where I'm just going to create some kind of value. I'll create another uint32. We'll call this max pass, right? And I'll say the maximum number of passes in this case is going to be 3, and then we're going to stop processing once we try to hit pass number 4. So let's go ahead and drag this into the graph. So let's make some more room. And what I want to do is I want to do a comparison operator here. I want to say every single pass, let's compare the pass index. If it's greater than or equal to the max pass value, then we're going to set the pass index to be the same value as pass count. And like I mentioned earlier, that's going to stop the graph from processing, from doing multiple passes. So to do that, that's quite easy. We want to compare the pass index. Is it greater than or equal to another uint value here, in this case, max pass 3? And this gives us this result boolean, which is great. So now I can use this and I can say conditional select, and then we'll say uint, because those are the value types that we're working with here. And so this is what this means. So what's going to happen is if this condition is true, we're going to pass in this true value through the result, and we're going to set the pass index. If it's false, then we're going to set a different value here. So really all I have to do now is say, all right, if I go ahead and increase this, so this is going to be a value of 4, which means our pass index is 3. These are now equal. This is now true, and we're going to pass this true value. And when this is true, what we need to do is we need to set the pass count to be equal to the pass index, or rather the reverse of that. The pass index is now equal to the pass count. So see what happened there? This is now true. We're now going to set these two to be equal. And like I said, that terminates the graph from doing any future passes. Otherwise, if we are less than that, and this is false, then we just continue doing the default behavior of adding 1 to our pass index at the end of each iteration, just like we did before with that default behavior. So here's how this works now. If I go ahead and increase the pass count, and you can see we're now adding more and more passes, the pass index at the end is always going to be 3. We're not executing any more passes. It's automatically going to stop. So if I change this max pass to something like 8, you're going to see that it's again going to go all the way up to 8, but it's not going to exceed that because this condition is true, and we are now setting the pass index to be equal to the same value as the pass count. So that is how we create self-terminating nPass graphs. Now, why is this important? Well, what's really great about nPass element graphs is you can do pretty much everything that you can do in a regular element graph, but use the power of iteration. So for example, and I'm going to go ahead and link this video below once it's available, what we're going to be able to do is do something like automatically unwrap the UVs of some sort of model or mesh, and we can distribute those different UV sections into multiple UDIM tiles, for example. So it's a great way to iterate across multiple inputs, multiple values, and then, for example, we can track, how many material sections or items there are in an array, and then once we get to the end of that array, we can stop the graph from processing, and we can create a node that automatically knows how many passes it needs to do before it stops. And what's great is this pass count now becomes a maximum pass count. We can say that this graph only performs, a maximum of 50 passes before we know that, it's never going to have to exceed that. And then it goes ahead and checks, the condition that you set up in the graph automatically and stops when it's finished. All right, well, thanks for watching this video on nPass graphs in InstaMAT Studio. We'll see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, drop us a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. For the latest news about InstaMAT, please visit our website, follow us on X, join us on Discord, or sign up for the Abstract community. You can find all the links in the video description below. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.